Hey guys, this is Ryan Knows Crypto. Thanks for checking into my channel. First thing, we're going to go over a couple different stories. We're going to jump right into them. Venezuela's blasting the white papers that just came out for their own coin. India government sending tax notices to crypto traders. News is claiming that raw gold is spiking up. And the last very short word about Arizona State partnering up with Dash. Alright, so let's jump right into our first story of the night. Venezuela blasts the white papers that are out there. Basically, Venezuela government's pushing back against what it calls false information in connection with the purported white paper tied to its oil-backed currency. The government was rejecting a white paper which purported to explain how the petrol worked. So basically what happened here is a fake white paper was released and Venezuela rejected it, saying, "Not ours." Now, I don't know if you guys know about Venezuela, but they've taxed their country so heavily that a lot of the smart people are in a hurry to leave Venezuela. This kind of effect has left your country with a disproportionate amount of poor and uneducated people. One thing Venezuela does have is it does have oil, and they are creating a coin to take advantage of this oil. So basically what I've gathered from this story is Venezuela is basically printing a second currency that they can sell, and that they're going to chain or tether to the price of oil. How's this going to work? I'm not really sure, because the coin can never really crash because it's tied to the price of oil, and the coin can never really spike because it's tied to the price of their oil. This is going to be a private blockchain, of course, and Venezuela government's going to control it the whole way. Now, one thing about Venezuela is their currency has kind of sunk over the years. When they count money in Venezuela and in India, you know, they use scales to count it because it's literally so much money to come up with just a little amount. So I don't like this. This is basically Venezuelan government getting into the crypto game to generate money on their own behalf. Next, let's talk about India. India's been sending tax notices to its cryptocurrency traders. I don't actually mind this. I don't know if you guys know, a few years ago, the Indian government, they scrapped the use of the 500 note and the 1,000 rupee note. This wiped out about 80% of the cash value of their currency and about 20% of the cash volume that was in circulation. So it's basically a big deal. When you have a 1,000 rupee note that's worth about 16 American, and when you have a 500 rupee note that's worth about $8, and the Indian government comes in and wipes out those currencies, then it kind of makes you lose faith in your government as far as holding their currency. So this is one of the benefits of Bitcoin, and this is one of the things I always thought Bitcoin helped do, is it helps you circumvent the frailty of your currency or the volatility of your nation's currency. You live in Greece, India, Venezuela, your currency is up and down. Sometimes it's worthless, sometimes it's worth something. You can just shift that money into Bitcoin, and when your currency loses about 80 or 90% of its value, you still have Bitcoin, and you can turn that Bitcoin into euros, dollars, whatever you want. But India is basically trying to get some money out of those people that are circumventing their currency or keeping their value in another currency. And according to Credit Suisse, you know, there's about 473 million workers in India, but there's only about 49 million taxpayers. That means only about 1 out of 10 people pay taxes that work in India. So I don't mind them trying to get their tax money. But I also don't mind people putting their money in Bitcoin because they're scared of the Indian rupee just crashing down some more. Latest cryptocurrency crash says that investors are seeking refuge in gold. Now, gold is traditionally seen as one of the most secure investments. It's not surprising to see that profits from the volatile crypto market are transferred to gold as investors seek stability and an attempt to hedge their risk. You know, current and past trends suggest there is an inverse correlation between cryptocurrencies and the gold market. When crypto does well, gold sales drop. When Bitcoin and its peers and other cryptos do bad, gold sales go up. And I want to tell people, crypto is not for the faint of heart. Gold it's for people that don't like risk. You know, your grandma, your grandpa, they want to buy a few gold coins, stick them under their mattress, wait for it to go up just a little bit. And if you guys have ever looked into buying gold and silver, now I have bought gold and silver in the past as a store of value. And let's just say right now, let's look at the price of gold. You know, about 7-8 years ago, gold was as low as $700-800 an ounce, and then as high as $1,600-1,700-1,800 an ounce. Then back down to $1,000 an ounce. Right now, it's about $1,300 an ounce. This is kind of like a good mean for the last 10 years. But here's the thing. Say you have $10,000 and you want to invest it in something that's going to go up in value. You go down to your local gold mart and their gold is $1,300 an ounce. You're not going to get it for $1,300 an ounce. They're going to sell it to you at about 10% over spot. So if it's $1,300 an ounce, you're probably going to spend about $1,430 per ounce. Now, once you buy your gold at $1,430, something happens, you need to sell it, you need to put a down payment on a house, or you need to buy a piece of property, then you have to go and sell it to someone. When you go back to that same gold store you bought it at, they're not going to give you $1,300 an ounce, they're going to give you about 10% below spot. So instead of $1,300, you might be looking at $1,170. And this is to cover, you know, their physical location. So, what just happened? You lost about 20% of your value and gold price never moved. This is the fees associated with buying and selling and holding gold and silver. In my opinion, you know, these fees, they just eat right into your profits. So, that's just something to consider. If you had to put your money in gold, here's what I recommend. Bitcoin gold. Started out about $100. Now it's sitting at about $200. That's about a year. Or less than that. That's about 6 months. And one of the reasons why I would try Bitcoin gold over gold or Bitcoin over gold is the fees associated with selling it on the market. Buy and sell it instantly. And very small fees, you know. And also, but the only thing you can't do with it is hold it in your hand and look at it and then put it back away. So, I don't like gold and I don't like silver as a store of value. I'd rather own a dividend-paying stock or just a cryptocurrency, a stable cryptocurrency. Last thing, let's talk about real quick. Arizona State University partners with Dash to fund research and scholarships. Now, I basically love this. Arizona State has announced a partnership with Dash. They're going to provide $350,000 to accelerate research and development and education in ways that advance blockchain transaction speed, efficiency, security, and expand its uses. This is a wonderful use, you know. Dash gets its name out there. It has a huge team. They're going to build an even bigger team by partnering with Arizona State. ASU will teach people about blockchain. This is a current hot thing that people want to learn about. So it's wonderful for them to have a lab. And another thing is Dash will get promoted, but also Bitcoin made an initiative with MIT where Bitcoin gave money to MIT and MIT taught people about blockchain. But then what seemed to happen is whenever there was a coin that was going up, MIT just jumped on the back of that coin if it wasn't Blockcoin and started blasting it. In the past, we've heard of MIT blasting IOTA and MIT blasting other coins. So really, it seemed like the money that Bitcoin was funding with MIT just became a promotional tool to blast non-Bitcoin coins. So hopefully, Dash is actually used to fund research and make blockchain better, and not as a way to just bash other coins that compete with Dash in the top 10 spot. Let's take a look real quick at the crypto market. Everyone's saying it's back. Right across the board, we see nothing but green. Bitcoin up 12%, ETH up 11% in the last 24 hours. Everything is going to be back. Personally, I think there's still one more crash coming. Just based on this chart that I warned about, we did have a small crash earlier, and this predicts January 23rd as 24 days for the Asian New Year. I still think there'll be a little bit pullback, If we get to Monday morning and it hasn't crashed, I'd feel free to go ahead and go whole hog. Put your money in. That's just my personal. I don't think if you miss 3 or 4 days of the crypto market, it's going to hurt you. This is a long-term game. A lot of us are going to be in this for 10, 20, 30 years, building our investments up. If you miss the bottom by just a hair, or what you assume to be the bottom, it's not going to hurt you that much. So I'm coming in Monday, hard and heavy. Alright guys, I just want to thanks everyone for checking it out. If you don't mind, please check out my website. I update all my videos there. Please hit like and subscribe. We're building up a nice small subscriber base here, and we're trying to get it going. Thanks for watching guys. Having a good night.